I did not see anything. So day one, I just saw like little recaps and little like clips on like academics' page and stuff. So I'm gonna watch the when his uncle went on the stand the first day. I watched the second day live. I saw when he was having, again, some like language barriers and stuff. They were asking him who paid for his lawyers. Who paid for your lawyers? And he threw a little jab that I didn't like too much either, the defendant. He's like, oh, you came in here with 2 lawyers today. Wish that XXXTentacion would have had lawyers, like, I mean, not lawyers, sorry, security like the ones you do today. So that was a little like weird. Like, I don't know how he threw that. The defendant's all over the place. I'm seeing Drake's name popping up all over this case. It's crazy. I'm informed, but I'm not informed to the level that I want to be. So I actually want to see what's going on. I want to jump into this with you guys. Before we go into individual days, I saw something saying 6 disturbing details of XXXTentacion's murder revealed. It's like a little cheat code, so let's see this like a synopsis in case we can like skip out through any points when I start watching the longer videos. This right here, I believe, is X's lawyer, the prosecutor. The defendant is terrible, bro. This is the worst lawyer ever. I saw today also on social media something about he tried to say X wasn't faithful to his girlfriend, and he tried to use that in the courtroom, and the judge actually denied it and stopped it, which is like, bro, what does that have to do with anything going on? What does that have to do with anything going on? These changes.
At the conclusion of this evidence, you'll find that Dietrich Williams, Michael Bolt.
Also, shout out to the fat boy snitching. Shout out to the fat boy snitching. I'm putting cookies on his commissary. No cap. Y'all think I'm joking. I'm putting cookies on his commissary. When all said is done, whatever they give him on, I'm putting cookies on his commissary, my boy. If they had McDonald's and had a cafeteria in there, Big Mac on me. But cookies in his commissary, that's on me, for real. Cookies on his commissary.
Wright and Trayvon Newsom are guilty of first-degree murder and guilty of armed robbery in this case.
I hope they live
The trial of 3 men for the murder of rapper XXXTentacion is underway. We take a look at the top moments from the trials so far.
Oh, I can't take it.
I'm Antoinette Levy, and welcome to Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast. Trayvon Newsom, Dedrick Williams, and Michael Boatwright are all...
No. I just can't accept it. I just can't. I refuse. Like, this just makes no sense to me. They could have robbed the kid. They could have did what they had to do. Again, X couldn't have weapons due to the legal things he was going through. And to live in a state like Florida and not be able to have it on you, like... Oh, it just kills me.
All on trial for the murder.
I just wish
a fourth man, Robert Allen, pleaded guilty and is testifying for the prosecution in this case.
Yeah, that's Cookie Monster right there. That's one
XXXTentacion, whose legal name is Jose Onfrey, had $50,000 in cash.
Look, right there. When X looks at them, looks back down.
Cash on him.
And you see him turning around right there, looking at him. It's like, oh, shit, that is X right there. And I seen a clip when they were saying that they rented a vehicle. They were driving around looking for people to rob, like just a whole bunch of stuff. And then imagine that. They went to Riva Motorsports to go buy masks to go find people to rob. They walk in. He happens to be inside Riva Motorsports with his uncle. And this is what happened. Also, that's his uncle from his father's side for the ones that didn't see the... I saw day 2 again, so I saw when he explains that. He's not related to Cleo at all. He's related to X's father. So that's his brother.
As he shopped for motorcycles in South Florida on June 18th, 2018. A group of men ran to his vehicle.
Right here, this clip always ruins my day because if something right here, I'm eating the whole front of my car, your rental, everything. You gonna have to start breaking windows. The fact that X stopped right there and tried to confront, this dude's walking up with like a Uzi Batoozi. I see he has his hand on 2. Like, right there, I'm telling you, he should have just floored it. I think another thing that got to him was when his uncle ran out. Uncle running out, that right there is going to throw him off as well because now you don't want to leave him. So that probably could have put a little thing in it. But, bro, I would have peeled. You got out the car and ran. That's on you. I'm eating your car, every car in that block. There's no way. There's no way.
Vehicle shot him and stole his money. Now, nearly 5 years later, this trial has begun. Prosecutor Pascal Achille gave a strong opening statement telling the jury they will see surveillance video that clearly shows Michael Boatwright shooting and killing XXXTentacion.
Jose is there, unarmed, in the driver's seat, surprised by the 2 gunmen in this case. You'll hear how they start struggling with him, punching him, and that of the gunmen at one point are trying to get his property from him. They're able to wrestle away from him the satchel that had the $50,000 in cash. And without any provocation, without any type of weapons or anything being used by the victim, you'll hear how Michael Boatwright fires several times, killing the victim at close range. You'll also be able to see the surveillance that shows this.
Okay, we've seen the surveillance, like we just saw right now. I've seen that previous. Hearing with audio, that we haven't got. And to my knowledge, I still haven't heard. So that would be insane right now. Yeah. Just text me something. I gotta see that after.
With 3 men on trial, they have 3 separate defense attorneys, so each attorney gave his own opening statement. Michael Boatwright's attorney went first, and he claimed that Robert Allen, he's the man who pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and is testifying for the state, will lie to the jury when he gets up on the stand.
Robert Allen is the only person that you will hear from that puts Michael Boatwright at Riva Motorsports on June 18th, 2018.
Oh, because, yeah, you're right. We don't have any actual footage because, remember, the only 2 that got out the car was Cookie Monster and the dude with tattoos over his face. I think Deirdre Williams or something. Those are the only 2 we actually seen inside Riva Motorsports. The other 2, Trayvon and Michael Boatwright, they just got arrested. And when they get arrested, I knew somebody was in there singing. I said it that day that it happened. I was like, oh, people started getting arrested, those 2 that were in the footage. And then magically they found 2 others, and the other 2 happened to be the gunmen. I'm like, oh, you already know one of them is singing. That's what happens when everybody breaks 15 bands and one man gets 5,000. Like, no, hold on, this math isn't correct. Your math isn't correct. I don't know what calculus you got up to or what algebra. You didn't get up that high because that's not correct. He's gonna snitch. I don't know how they're shocked. There's 4 people. And you happen to go 15, 15, 15, 5. Like, that's crazy to me. That don't even make sense logically. But to split it 12,000 now, they all didn't want to do that. That's the shit. Throw your life away for 50 bands. It sounds a lot, but think about it. To do the rest of your life, bro, now divide how many years you live. That's what I like to do by 50,000. Think about a salary. You can be an amazing waiter and make about 50 bands in 1 year. So you're going to throw your whole entire life away for 50,000? And another man's life, X.
And he has a whole host of reasons to lie.
Also, bro, I'm pretty sure all 3 of them got public defenders. These lawyers are terrible. Every day I get an alert is some dumb shit. Like, nah, this is not real. This is not really happening. This is why I waited 6 years for this trial. Not really. This happened 18. We waited 5 years to hear this buffoonery. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Look at her face. She's looking at him like he's bugging out.
In law school, they teach us don't promise something in an opening statement that you can't deliver on during the trial. Well, let me be very clear.
Most hated
If
hairstyle.
Robert Allen testifies in this case, he will lie. And we will prove that he is lying. Police ignored an extraordinary amount of evidence that Michael was not the killer, was not involved in this case.
Dedrick Williams' attorney, Mauricio Padilla, was up next. And
Okay, so they're all taking turns. This is the guy I've been seeing on social media. It's crazy. I actually paused at the perfect time. I'm sure that he's the one that brought up Drake's name and tried to say something about Drake being part of this. It was him right here.
he claims that law enforcement dropped the ball and did not investigate this case properly. He touches on the fact that Broward County Police had their backs up against the wall because of the Parkland school shooting that happened just 4 months prior to the homicide. He then says how the same detective from the Parkland school shooting was handed XXX's case. He points out that that detective and other investigators cut corners because they wanted to wrap this case up as quickly as possible. Finally, Padilla goes on to say how long...
He about to get... You see, this is like, bro, imagine you about to face life in prison for murder, and you hear your lawyer bring up Drake. What's the plea deal? It's too late, right? Because trial started. There's no way I can take it. There's no way I can get a deal no more, right? It's done. Niggas bringing up Drake. This is what you got to say that 15 bands for. You literally saved your 15 bands. They probably didn't even have time to spend it, bro. These dudes got arrested so quick that it's like, they got 15 bands. So it's like, you should have just used 10 of that for a lawyer.
Law enforcement didn't look into the
Drake.
Grammy Award-winning rapper Drake.
Before X died, he said, if anybody kills me, it's Drake. And do you think that for one moment, here today, days after the event, he's killed by 2 masked men, right? He came on social media and said, guys, before he dies, if anybody kills me, it's Drake. Do you think in that time span that they went and they addressed him, they talked to him? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked, Drake or anybody like that? No. They never did that. So you ask yourself, how could that be? If any of us is involved in, God forbid, in a murder, and you say, hey, it's so-and-so, you better believe so-and-so is going to get investigated. But in this case, they didn't do it. They didn't do it because it didn't comport with their version and their narrative. And as law enforcement, I think that they have the obligation to.
I want y'all to keep it 1,050. Would y'all really go investigate Drake if you was a lawyer and you seen other cases? You seen Dedrick Williams walking through Riva Motorsports. You seen him looking at X. You seen Fat Boy. I forgot his name. I don't even mean a body shame Big Boy, because he's actually he's an alliance now. Like, yeah, you was part of some dumb shit, but the reason we are here, you were involved with. As much as you try to deny it, you was involved. I told him not to. Fat ass up. But he's now flipping sides. Like, I can't be mad at you until it's all said and done. You got to keep the rat with us right now. You get me? We the Ninja Turtles, and you got to keep the rat with us. He's flipping. But would you think as a detective, let me call Drake? Would that be something you guys would be thinking of doing? I just want to know. That's all I want to know.
Do so.
Finally, Trayvon Newsom's attorney gave his opening statement. He went last. And instead of pointing to evidence that will clear his client, he pointed to evidence and said what it will not show.
My opening statement and all opening statements are supposed to be about what the evidence will show. But in this case, I'm going to tell you what the evidence will not show. The evidence will not show that any firearm was ever recovered that could be matched or linked to Trayvon Newsom. The evidence will not show that anything from a thorough search of his home where he lived with his father and his sister, including digging up his entire backyard because they heard the money was buried there, turned up anything that would link Trayvon Newsom to this terrible crime.
So he spent the 15 bands, or you just had the best hideout ever? Because that's insane. There's no way you bought Drip that quick, because I know he didn't make an investment in 4 days. There's no way you spend it that quick. I seen that they did a couple money phone pictures. That's another thing that I got to find. I actually don't have that clipped up for us to watch. But I've seen that on social media actually today. They took pictures. Michael Boatwright taking money fans. He was with Dedrick. Both taking money pictures, money phones. Who's calling? The police. Jail. A prison cell's calling. That's who's calling.
The evidence will not show that Trayvon has ever made a statement of admission or any statement that would link him to this terrible crime to any third party or anyone else for that matter. The evidence will show no DNA whatsoever found on the body of Mr. Onfroy or on that car. Although you see a tussle going on, you see they allege he goes around the car and gets actually into it, no DNA whatsoever.
No DNA whatsoever. I'm sure they were wearing gloves. I miss X so much. It kills me. It kills me. It breaks my heart. No cap. It really breaks my heart. Cause when I tell you I mix X to another level, it's crazy, bro. Like,
to Trayvon Newsom. No fingerprints linked to Trayvon Newsom. No cell phone evidence places Trayvon.
Okay, that maybe he left it at home or something because he knew they were gonna rob, and you've been hearing about YNW Melly's case because they're also from Florida. But I was thinking that I was like, yo, they gotta check their phone signals because somebody had to have a GPS or something on them. Like, there's no way everyone left their phone. If you guys did, touche. That was really great to hear. Maybe you guys heard the YNW Melly case because everyone here is from Florida. But it's like out of every rapper they killed, bro, not X, please, not X. Like, yo, my phone was blowing up, bro. I thought something, like, oh, I knew that is crazy. But, like, I thought it was, like, somebody, like, I don't know what I thought. I was at work, but my phone kept going insane. Everybody just hit me up like crazy in 18. Because I was always, the shit that I do with y'all on YouTube, I've always done this, but just around the hood. Like, I was just, yo, you guys seen this? Yo, you guys heard this that dropped? Yo, you seen this? I was on texting my group chat. Yo, look what,
Trayvon Newsom.
When this happened, not X.
At the time of the murder, XXX was shopping for those motorcycles with his uncle, his step-uncle, actually, Leonard Kerr. Kerr took the stand and explained he was able to...
What's a step uncle? They called him a step uncle in the shit that I watched too. I don't know what a step uncle is. The two clips that I had for you, I'm not gonna lie, they're both actually part of this. So I'm like, should we really waste more time actually viewing that or just get into other ones? We're probably gonna get into other ones. I was gonna review his entire 22-minute sitting on the stand the first day, and then we'll do the second day a couple days later or tomorrow or something. And I was gonna do the prosecutor's opening statement and the lawyer's opening statements, but they kind of did like a quick little fast up of everything. So I'm like, oh, this is a dope video. We still got 11 more minutes.
Run away from the car when the shooters drew their guns on him and XXX. He's on surveillance video running away from the shooting. Kerr explained what he saw and heard minutes later.
I should have sacrificed him.
Now, at the point that you're calling
crazy
Theo,
as that sounds.
had anything else happened other than you exited the car for your life?
I run and they were down there. The two men that could jump out the car was down there.
So you left Jose in the car and the two gunmen were still there?
Yes, ma'am.
That shit must eat him alive, because the way they even remind him, like, you left Josh Say in the car. Bro, that shit would eat me alive. You left Josh Say in the car and just dipped. You just ran out and just worried about yourself. Like, that's nuts to me.
See anything that happened to Jose, between Jose and the gunman after that?
Okay.
Excuse me.
Before, when I run up there, the taller guy, as I tell you, the taller guy went around to Josh's side. The shot I want to come around to the door that I was my door.
He shot the window. That was another thing that I was thinking. Did he have the window up? How quick were they able to put their hand inside the car? He shot the window. That's nuts. All right, let me go back. So they're saying Michael Bolt, right, ran up to the whip, which you see him coming up quick. I didn't know that they shot the window. That's insane.
That happened to Jose, between Jose and the gunman after that?
Okay. Before, when I run up there, the taller guy, as I tell you, the taller guy went around to Josh's side. The shot I want to come around to the door that I was, my door that I opened, and he go inside the car.
You saw that?
I see that because I was looking, when I run up here, I saw some, some of the man that was on the phone. I keep looking down there. When I keep looking, I realize that the shot I want to come around to my side. The taller one go to Josh's side.
Okay, so it's almost like, I'm sorry?
And then I heard something like, how much time I don't know, but I heard something like this.
Damn, this shit's really gonna start being my MacBook right now. Relax.
An explosion?
Yeah.
Let's go back to Robert Allen. He's the man I just told you about who pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and is...
Robert Allen's the ally. That's Cookie Monster. That's who I'm... Yo, he's about to come rich. 'Cause I know there's a couple X fans about to throw money in his commissary. But now we're about to go in his case. Yeah, we really don't have to watch the first two videos that I was going to go over. This really just did an 11-minute clip. We'll go back and just do other videos after this. I still got some more that I want to watch with you guys. But this just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Robert Allen, thank you for coming forward.
testifying for the state. On Wednesday, Allen took the stand and claimed that he and the three defendants robbed and killed XXX in the parking lot of the motorcycle dealership. He explained what happened over those 3 short minutes.
Trayvon Newsom do after he grabs the bag?
As he grabbed the bag, shots were fired.
Judge, I'm gonna ask him to speak to the microphone.
As he grabbed the bag, shots are fired.
Who shoots the shots that are fired?
Michael Goldberg,
And who does he shoot?
Triple X,
Where does he shoot him from? What side of the car?
driver.
So if Triple X is in the driver's seat and Michael Bo...
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that as soon as they ran out and they're going forward to the whip like that, he was popping because we don't have no audio to it. So I didn't even know that at all. That adds a lot more to it on why X didn't drive and just peel off. Because I'm like, bro, if they were banging on his window trying to get in, I get X is a tough guy, but he's also a smart guy. So it's like, if I jump off this whip, get this shit fixed later, y'all bugging out. I get it. But now it makes more sense. They probably, they said X got shot. I forgot exactly where. I know the throat might have been the death shot, but shooting the window, that could have stunned him. It's all adding up. That was all making a lot more sense.
Right is in the driver's side. The shots are coming onto XXX's left side or right side? Which side?
Left side.
Okay. And what happens, how many times do you recall that Michael Boatwright shoots XXX?
Maybe like 2 or 3 times.
What does XXX do as a result of that? What does Michael Boatwright do next? What does Trayvon used to
Audio is
do?
still good.
Slips and fall a little bit and runs the car.
What does Dietrich Williams do? Now, are all 4 of you back in the Dodge Journey?
Yes,
What does Dietrich Williams do?
he drives off.
So Allen claims that Newsom grabbed the bag of money, Boatwright shot XXX, and Williams was the getaway driver as Allen was sitting in the car. The prosecution went on to show surveillance footage of the murder. So were the gunmen Newsom, Boatwright, and Williams, and will they be convicted for the murder of XXXTentacion? That is the question here, so stay tuned to Sidebar to find out as we continue to cover this case. And that's it for this.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I think they're screwed. That's what I got from it. I think they're screwed for sure. There's no way they're gonna get around it. Everything's pointing their way. Their lawyers are trying to bring in Drake and a whole bunch of other irrelevant information that really doesn't have to do much with it. Information I learned was I did not know Michael Boatwright was running up to the car, shooting at it off the rip. We don't have to see the testimony stuff I was gonna go over because they already went over all that. But there's still some footage, like you see. I had the entire prosecutor stuff. It's fine because we already heard the same thing. Same thing with the uncle. But for the ones that didn't see this, day 1 they released XXXTentacion inside the bank when he went and requested the money to come out. Let's just take a quick little glimpse for those that haven't seen it. Look at X, bro. He just looks so happy and chill. Look at him.
He placed it in his.
Smiling, he got the bag right there that he always wore, his little Louis bag.
This time, what was his demeanor like?
It's fine. Okay, he seemed happy.
So again, X goes and requests his $250,000. They tell X, you cannot take $250,000 because we don't have that much money in the bank right now. We would have to order that for you. Thank God. Shout out to Act, that's where I got that information from, because they would have got that $250,000. There would have been a lot more going around than 15 bands and 5 bands. Once again, it was like when they killed Pop Smoke, bro. They supposedly killed Pop Smoke for a little watch. Like, that drives me crazy. But that was basically it. Once again, X is just sitting there. We can skip around through it. Get people waiting. He's requesting all that money. She's trying to get it through. Let's see if the live stream's still good. Waiting, requesting all that money. She's trying to get it through. Let's see if the live stream. Alright, so that was like the main thing from it.